All right, everybody. Welcome to number 31 in our build series. Today we are building the core, and it's going to be a little bit unconventional and a little bit conventional. So we're going to have quite a lot of planks coming at us, and then we're also going to up our intensity just a little bit, but still keeping that focus on the core. So go ahead and start with me on your hands and knees, and we're going to go ahead and hit back into a child's pose. You don't need any equipment today, just some motivation to grab that core. Let your forehead go ahead and drop onto the ground. Let's take a few deep breaths. Keep your elbows up off the ground for me. Spread your fingertips nice and wide. Take some deep breaths. Just appreciate the fact you've made it. You can get through it. It's going to be good. All right, go ahead and come up onto your hands and knees. Plant through those hands, knees right underneath your hips. And all we're going to do is just draw in those transverse abdominis. So elbows are going to pull back towards your thighs. So it's a little bit of a torque in your arms, your upper arms, pull back. And you're going to grab underneath the rib cage. So just tucking and pulling and tightening through the core without moving anything. And you should feel your pelvic floor muscles engage as well. You're just building your own self-awareness and flexion, that isometric contraction through the core. Slide your shoulder blades down. That's always a good part and aspect of core flexion and trunk health, trunk awareness. A couple more deep breaths here. And then let's go ahead and start our cat-cow. So inhale, pull your chest forward. Push your tailbone up toward the ceiling, and then exhale, push into your hands and knees and round. Get some space through the upper back. Tuck your tailbone under, feel the low belly contract. Inhale, push forward. And then exhale, round. Two more like that. Inhale, push forward. Exhale, round. Actively round. Push into your hands and knees. Inhale, forward. Find traction between your hands and knees as you arch and as you sag. All right, come to your neutral spine, and we're going to let the hips shift left and right. So just pull shoulder to hip, shoulder to hip. Get some movement and mobility to the sides. A little bit of twist. It's always good for the back. Okay, and then hold your shoulders still and let your hips rotate left and right. So sag to the left, sag to the right. Tuck in deep through that abdomen. All right, and then let's get a little bit of wrist warm-up going. So since we've already been on our hands this way, go ahead and curl your toes under, sit back on those heels. Bring your hands closer to your knees, putting the tops of the hands on the ground, and point your palms toward your armpits, and then rotate your elbows in and out. Be gentle with that pressure, only as much as feels good for you. And if it's too much pushing it this way, you can hold your hands out in front and push your palms towards you. All right. And then flip it over the other direction. Palms are on the ground, fingertips still pointed back at your knees. Bend one elbow and then the other. Stretch through those forearms. All that weightlifting we do, swinging kettlebells, everything else really gets a lot of grab and grip through those forearms. So taking time to stretch them is important. All right. Shake your wrists out. And then we're going to go back forward. Shoulders up over those wrists. Take little circles. So our start today is going to be 8 minutes of a plank, an 8-minute plank round. We did this series or set in our Formatting Frenzy series. I think each first day of the week, we gave ourselves an 8-minute plank set. If at any point you need to put your knees down, take a little child's pose, take a little downward facing dog, that's totally fine. If you need to switch over into a dead bug on your back or a bird dog, that's totally fine also. So whatever it is that you need to help you get through, that's what I want. All right, so we're going to go elbows down, 2 minutes in the front, 1 minute each side. That's going to be a 4-minute cycle, and then we're going to do that twice through. So here we go. Ready, set, and go. All right. Shoulders up past that elbow crease. Hips in line with shoulders. Find traction between your elbows and toes. And remember, it's all about tightening under that rib cage. Finding that flexion through the trunk, through the torso. We're building deep, deep interior core muscles. So the same grab that we got with our transverse abdominis draw, we want to kind of go for that here as well. Nice, deep, even breaths. Strength and contraction through the core, through that torso is so important for keeping our low back happy and healthy, for stabilizing the body for everything else that we do. There's 1 minute down. Keep that tailbone tucked under, flexing tight through the core. I like to scan the body when I'm in these longer holds. Front of the body, grabbing, gripping, pushing the crown of the head away from the body, space between ears and shoulders, grabbing underneath my armpits. Then, of course, tucking up through my rib cage, pulling that tailbone under to help pull that belly button back towards your spinal column, flexing through the glutes, your quads, push back through those heels. 10 seconds left here, and then we're going to go into our side plank. Ready, set, and go. Rotate to your side. So just set your elbow right under the shoulder. Lift up through that top arm. Flex through the back to help support. If you need to drop your bottom knee down, totally fine. If you need to take your top leg, cross it over the front, and stabilize there, totally fine. And if you need to keep your hip on the ground and just practice self-flexion, that's totally fine. Build wherever you're at. If you go too far, too fast, it's counterproductive. You get injured. You don't want to come back tomorrow. And that's not the goal or the purpose at all. Finding where you're at, your edge, your challenge, not my challenge. 4, 3, 2, flip all the way to the other side. Whew. All right, up and hold. Lift it, hold it. Find those contractions. Envision you have a string pulling your hip up toward the ceiling. Deep inhales, deep exhales. Stay strong and contracted. A lot of planking is mental as well. You just have to decide you're going to do it. Place that mental focus and desire into the muscle, into the work. So we could tack that onto our build today. Building mental strength, mental power. Such a huge aspect of physical training. Back to center. We're halfway there in physical fitness. Sometimes it's healthy in working out and awesome and nice, and I really appreciate it, to get out of the mind. Your mind has to connect with what you're doing in this moment. There's no other capacity for what's going on elsewhere. You have to stay connected to the body, to the breath. Your commitment to yourself. No matter how much time is left, you just have to decide you're going to make it happen. That you want it bad enough, that you do have the capacity if the desire is strong. Flex in deep, hold strong. Keep work in the core. Displace it from the arms. Focus on your breathing. Focus on getting stronger, healthier, firmer, toned. We're going to make it. We have 15 seconds left. Each second at a time. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Turn it up. Go into that side. Push up out of those hips. Definitely can get tough here. We were just on that arm, of course, from the front. Take your brain to the oblique, the back. Get that to do the support to get the work done. We're already over halfway there. 20 seconds to go. Seven seconds. 2, 1. Oh, whew. And rotate. Last minute, my friends. Stay with me. Push into the work. Holding these contractions for 8 minutes, regardless of the temperature in your space, you should be heated. Dripping a little sweat. Already lots of flexions, contractions, deep breaths. 10 seconds to go. Flex the thighs, flex your back, flex the core. And time. Whew, all right. That is a fantastic way to start our core day. All right, let's take a little break, a little stretch. Start by rounding through your upper back and then hit your hips back onto the heels, stretch your arms forward. Okay, so from here we are going to switch into a Tabatta format, which is 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, 8 rounds through. Okay, so for a couple of our Tabattas, we'll do the same exercise, 8 rounds, which is this one. So we're going to do get-ups. You have a couple different options and ways to do it. Everything still originates and starts and is focused on the core. So don't forget about that. Okay, get-ups, you start at the front of the mat, squat it down, roll it back. Your legs shoot up off the ground, use the momentum, come up at the top. Now you have the option to jump if you'd like. You can use your hands, crisscross your feet, or you start facing your mat and you're going to pivot. So plant your hands, rotate down, still get both feet up, crisscross your feet the other way, pivot so you come out the other direction. All right, that's another option. So any one of those, and we're going to go for 8 rounds. If all of that fails, stay on your back and you're going to do a dead bug. All right, here we go. Ready, set, 20 seconds. For 8 rounds. Core here, core, right? So stay locked into the core. Don't lose track of our focus. Helps to have a strong, firm mental focus time to make sure that we're committed to our build today. All right. 3, 2, and 1. Push your low back into the ground as you roll back. Can you keep that same solid contraction that you had with your core in your plank? Time. Good job. 2 down. Ready, set, go. Time. Good job. Take a little break. Make sure you need it. Stay strong and contracted through that torso. Your pace is up to you. Faster's fine, as long as you don't lose that core focus. Time. And go. That heart rate to go up a little bit more. Those glutes get involved. It's part of the core. Not really abdomen, but foundational core. So necessary. Time. Good job, everybody. We have 3 to go. And hit it. Good job. Time. Crushing it, crushing it. Ready, set, and go. Legs are getting tired. That's good, that's fine. Keep focusing that core. Finding that belly scoop. Time. Contracting and flexing there to get that drive and pop. Here we go. Last one. 20 seconds. Takes lots of focus. Keep that low back on the ground. Time. All right. Good job, good job. Flip it around for me quick sec. We're going to take a little quad stretch. Sit back on your knees, hands behind. That may be good enough. Or lift those hips up. Stretch through the tops of those thighs. All right, back into less cardio, more focused core. We're going to do in and outs and bear taps. All right, in and outs are basically what we just did, but we're not coming up. Okay, so your amount of range is really up to you. You can grab behind your knees. You can extend, tuck, extend, tuck. You can stay away from your knees, extend and tuck. Or ultimately, if you can come all the way down, pushing that low back onto the ground, tucking up, that's great. Then your bear taps. I've been doing these more recently. Big wide fingertips, curl the toes under, knees come up off the ground. You're going to tap opposite hand and knee. Remember, we're here for the core. All right, in and outs first. Hugging in and then extending out. Here we go. Focus on that core. Getting away from just going from point A to point B. but really getting the work done. Time. Flip it over. Big open hands, curl the toes under, lift your knees, and go. You can also just hold a bear pose if switching doesn't work. Sometimes putting pressure all on one hand is too much as well. So you can walk in and walk out. Wherever you're getting most contraction and heat on that core. In and out. Extend and crunch. Pull those knees in deep. Focus on that core. If you get those core muscles contracted, you're not going to be using your hip flexors as much. So with core and abs, hip flexors can hit those bear taps. Hip flexors can get tired. So if you're flexing and contracting that core, your hip flexors won't be the main muscle group working. Working to keep shoulders over hands, hips over knees. All right, halfway. Here we go. How are you feeling? Hopefully tired, but proud of your progress, proud of your work. And time. Whew. Gotta focus, keep that low back on the ground. Easy to get it off. Curl under and tap. You got it. We're trying to keep our hips level, shoulders level. Tighten that abdomen. Time. Last set, one of each. Here we go. Time. We got way more than I thought I would. Whew. Curl those toes. Here we go. Stick with it. Tighten in. Make it tough. You find the work. Time. All right. Next set. We're basically going to be hitting up get-ups again, but this time from the front side. So we're going to go burpees or squat thrusts. Several different options. Okay, if you are not going to do burpees or squat thrusts, either of them, I want you to do a bird dog. Extend, drop, extend, drop. Alternate side to side. For your other option, you can plank, walk in, stand, or jump. Your choice. Again, goal is core. Plant, jump back, jump in, jump up, or a full burpee. Drop all the way, elbows squeeze in tight. You can come up off your knees and then come up from there, which I think I usually end up jumping with my arms down. So either way is fine. Remember, it's about the core. Sometimes if I focus too much on speed, yeah, I can get my heart rate up, but I lose that connection with the core, especially if you struggle with any low back issues. Slow down. You'll get a much better result, much better benefits from watching your core and staying strong and focused. Okay, ready, set, and go. So plant your hands, elbows dropping in. So when you come up off your floor, your hips need to stay tucked, that low back, not sagging. Time. All right, one set. And the more that you get your chest all the way to the ground, as opposed to stopping and pushing up, is going to give you a better return as well. So focus on feeling time, your core and your back. Remember those serratus muscles we worked the other day? Our mini day. Here we go. Set 3. Time. Ready, set, go. Make sure you're pressing evenly off of your palm. Spread your fingertips. Time. Halfway. 3, 2, and go. Focus your form. Make sure your hips are not staying left behind. So when you push up off your hands, your hips come at the same pace. Ready, set, go. What are we focused on here? Core. Put the work in your abdomen, especially as you pull your legs forward. 3, 2, and 1. Just like with our in and outs, we're using the core to tug those legs in. Time. 1 set left. 3, 2, and go. Lock, then tug. 3 seconds. Time. Well done. Well done, well done. All right. We're going to get our last set of core here, 4 minutes. It'll put us a little over time, but I think it'll be worth it. I know it'll be worth it. All right, we're going to go scissor twists and TikTok planks. If you need to keep your head on the ground, do so, and just focus on dropping and lifting your legs. Okay, otherwise, head rest in the hands. You're going to twist and pull your elbow up toward the opposite knee. If a TikTok plank doesn't work for you, you're going to stay in a tabletop on your back and rotate side to side, focusing on grabbing and gripping through those obliques. All right, here we go, my friends. Let's do this. Flex in. Don't lose it. Keep that core flexion. So you're really gripping and grabbing through that abdomen to pull the leg back up to your opposite elbow. Flip over, find your elbow plank, tuck under through that tailbone, and then rotate side to side. Your range and pace are up to you. Keep both elbows planted into the ground evenly and rotate through the mid-back. Time. Flip it over. Legs come up. Rest head and hands. Find your scoop. Then focus that belly contraction. Remember, it's not about what's going on with the legs or the arms. Take your focus to the belly, to the low back. If you're driving that low back time into the ground, your core is going to automatically contract and grab. All right, plank, and then rotate side to side. Time. Flip it over. We're halfway there. Smack that low back in. Scoop through the belly. Really finding and taking time to get that scoop is next level as well. So your abdomen's not protruding, but it's flexed in, contracting toward the floor. Time. Set up your plank, tuck your tailbone, and then go. Focus on what you're using to lift. Pull through center, and then drop and lift again. Kind of walk your toes with each twist. Time. Okay, this set's adding up. Good stuff, good stuff. Here we go. Ready, set, and go. Try to get those elbows open wide. Try to get your legs super straight. Whew. Slow it down. Focus. Man, that's a burner. Time. Here we go. Last Ticktock. Then we'll stretch. Set it up. And then rotate. Here we go. Hang in with me. Keep those hips lined with the shoulders. And time. Whew. All right. Fantastic work. Let's start with a little ab stretch. Plant your hands, stay on your knees, tuck your hips, and then pull your chest through the elbows. Oof. Open through that torso. Flex through those glutes. All right, tuck through those hips. We're going to push up into our downward facing dog. Slide your right heel toward the ground. Try to hide your heel behind your toes and then wrap your left foot around it. Shift your hips around as you need. Though you want to feel that sensation and stretch through the calf. Okay, other foot. Drop that left foot onto the ground. Is your core still strong? I hope so. So hide your heel behind your toes. Wrap that right foot around. Relax in the neck. Contract into that core. Fantastic. All right, keep that left foot on the ground. Bring your right leg forward and plant your foot inside the hands. And then we're going to come into a triangle stretch for our hamstrings. Try to keep your back flat. Make sure that you're rotating and leveling off through the hips. We've been doing this lately, stretching our hamstrings from this direction. So make sure you're getting that scissor in the hips. How about that core? All right, bend into that right leg. Let's go ahead and drop onto our left knee. Tuck the hips under. Core still strong. We want to get that hip flexor. Maybe walk your front foot forward a bit if you got too tight in there. And then take both hands outside your right thigh and twist over the front leg. It's a new year, new season, a good time to be grateful. Try your best not to think in terms of negativity, what maybe you didn't get or missed from last year, but what are you going to work for and obtain this year? Walk that back knee back. Hopefully for most of you, this is just part of the routine. You're already in a really good place physically and mentally, emotionally, and it's just keeping with it. We never fully arrive. It's not like you get to where you want to be physically and then you just stop working on it. There's always work to be done. Journal writing to be had, people to connect with and commune with. All right, plant into those hands. Go back into that down dog. Pushing your weight onto the right leg. Grab into that core. Now we're going to draw the left leg forward. Rotate that back heel to the ground. Straighten the hips. Square them off. Scissor them up. Getting that hamstring stretch on the left side. You can definitely play around with what you feel and how you feel different, depending on how far apart your feet are. Further back mine are, I actually feel more in my calves, but my calves are tight from all those calf raises, the jump ropes that we've done recently. Go ahead and drop onto your back knee. Tuck those hips under. Find that opening in your hip flexor, and then let's twist. Okay, and then back around, hitting up our pigeon on the left side. If you want some help and accountability with your goals and agenda for the next few weeks or months or year, let me know. We can either go through a focused, literal accountability, habit, and lifestyle change program for 12 weeks. You can do that with me, or you can just shoot me an email, tell me what you're focused on. I'm happy to share a couple thoughts, and sometimes just putting your intention out there, sharing it with someone, helps you stay a little bit more committed. But it's about you and getting to where you want to be. I would love to help you with it. All right, let's finish off with one forward fold. So set your feet, drive your hips back, enjoy that stretch through the backs of the legs. Thank you all so much. Good start to this week, and I'll see you tomorrow.